fresh school leaver ready to take on the big wide world, and got her first job in a childcare centre with 16 babies, and had to care for a 6-week-old, and had to change 30 nappies a day. I know, crazy! Well, yes, that was me. A few weeks in, I overheard a parent and a colleague having a conversation, and the parent was telling the colleague that they didn't trust me, and they felt that I was too immature to be taking care of their little baby, and that I looked too young. When I heard this, I felt really upset, and I was shocked that this parent made these comments. I had no idea what to do. So I started to think, maybe I should change careers. Maybe childcare wasn't for me. And I started second guessing everything. Once my day was over, I went home and I had a massive cry. I felt that I should quit and that I should give up. Because if one parent felt like this, well, then surely all of them must. I finally fell asleep with this big sucking pain in my belly, feeling disappointed and embarrassed. Until suddenly I shot out of bed and had a brilliant idea. I was going to prove this parent wrong and show that age is just a number, and that I was going to be able to look after their child in the best way possible. So the very next day, I raced to work with a solid plan. I began the morning with a chat with the parent and showed them a communication book. This communication book was where we were able to write messages in the morning, throughout the day, and at evening. The communication book was able for me to write down the child's development. The parent was also able to write if they had any concerns, and we were able to discuss them further. After talking to this parent and they were happy with what I was planning on doing, I went and I told my boss. I spoke to my manager about the situation, and we began the journey to prove this parent wrong. Each day, I would place the communication book above the child's locker and ask the parent a bunch of questions so that I could get the appropriate information. My boss was able to read the information and help me find good solutions as well, which really helped. Yes, I may have over-communicated everything, and yes, the communication book was a lot to work with. But once the parent felt comfortable with me, we were able to fizzle out the book and we were able to communicate face to face, which was really awesome. I now, 5 years later, look after her 5-year-old up in kindy, and we are able to have really awesome communication. She actually made a comment saying that my plan and how I proceeded to do things when her first child was in the baby's room, she still remembers it and she respects me for it. APST. My story represents standard 1.1, physical, social and intellectual development and characteristics of students. This is represented by how I was able to communicate with a particular parent by providing a communication book, that all the appropriate information was received and there was clear communication so that this particular parent felt that I knew their child and was able to communicate the child's development every single day. Also, they got to see positive interactions on drop-off and pick-up, which really helped. Code of ethics. My story demonstrated code of ethics, and this was provided by how I was able to represent how I respected the parent that had concern by providing a solution to better communicate. With this being said, I was able to respect the parent's comment that was made and move forward in a mature way. I provided trust and respect for the family and their child. This was done by having an open communication book and having face-to-face conversations in a respectful manner. Communication. Transaction mode. My story reflects the importance of transaction mode, of clear communication, as I was able to clearly communicate in a process that provided the parent with the right and additional information by using my book system. And after a few weeks, we built a trusting relationship that moved from communication via book to being able to have face-to-face conversations and continue to have a positive relationship. This story connects to me as an educator, as it provides positive reinforcement to not only myself but to the parent by not giving up and making clear communication strategies that build trust in the parent for allowing me to look after their child for my best ability.